Pro se package. Read this federal rules. Right there. caed.uscourts.gov. If you believe that you have been injured and you are the corpus delicti, or you've been wronged by someone like a judge, an individual, a corporation like the Navajo Nation Corporation, or State of Arizona government agency, the Department of Interior, Deb Haaland, and you also believe you should be compensated for the harm you have suffered, you may decide to file a civil suit in the United States District Court without the help of an attorney. BAR, accredited, registered foreign agent working for the dollar, the crown, and to the social security number. That's what these are. First, you're the plaintiff in the case who's filing the lawsuit. The defendant is the person who you're suing. It's called pro se for yourself. These are Latin courts, like Roman courts. Federal court has limited specific jurisdiction. Under federal court jurisdiction, the two main types of cases are federal question cases and diversity cases. Federal question cases are cases where the issue involves a violation of federal law. It says that there's 575 corporation companies, Duns and Bradstreet companies called federally recognized casino tribes, they call you. The other one's a diversity case, are cases where the plaintiff and the defendant are citizens of different states, and the amount in controversy exceeds the sum or value of $75,000 exclusive of interest costs. In my case, I did both of these. I said there's a violation of Article 6, Section 2, Supremacy Clause. And it says treaties are the supreme law of the land. That's under your federal law as a federally recognized entity, tribe, citizen. And Shaya, I said there's a problem with the plaintiff and the defendant. I am not a citizen of the state or anything. And the controversy exceeds the sum or value of $75,000 of damages. So I put 666 and about 20 zeros on it. Any one of you women in the Nesani or Unchi or elders or even anyone that can read and write and understand this slave language spelling right here. This is not even written in hieroglyphics or symbology. This is for a common slave right here. This writing. So you Nahokat the internet are supposed to be able to decipher this your slave's language. Remember that these fish kind are supposed to be your slaves. So done. And only he get it, and here your slave is kicking your ass, and you have become its slave. So step 1, what happened? Write your complaint. All cases are comprised of documents prepared and filed by litigants. The most common documents are the complaint answer and motions. The first document that you must file is called a complaint. You want to file 18 U.S.C. subsection 4, complaint. The function of the complaint is to tell the court and the defendant the reason for filing the lawsuit and what relief you desire. You must provide an original and 1 copy of the complaint. If you would like a copy for your records, the complaint must state name, address, the jurisdiction, and the reason your case is being filed in federal court, the allegations or claims that you are making against the defendants, the relief you want, what is your how much is your case about right here, about money or something you want the judge to make the defendant do or stop doing. If you believe that you are entitled to a trial by jury and you can prove your case, you must indicate in a paragraph below following the relief. And requested that you claim trial by jury. I also did that. I said, I'd rather have the people that are supposed to be living man, woman, and child to be this jury trial. So there's not many like that. Living man, woman, child, everybody's a social security number, entity. Even the judges. And don't worry if your complaint is not professionally written. It should be typed if possible, and the court will take into consideration that you are a pro se litigant, untrained in drafting legal documents. You should, however, make every effort to state your case in clear, concise terms. 810. You must sign and date your complaint, forms for filing a petition for writ of habeas corpus in custody or a motion to vacate, set aside, or correct sentence by a person or federal custody are available from the clerk's office. And right here, it costs us $405 filing fee for a civil case. In this packet right here, this pro se packet is all the forms to do this cover sheet, and a filing fee may be waived if you can't afford it. So you can fill out these documents in here and fill out the application for leave to proceed in forma paupery. You're saying that you're indigent. You don't have the money for it. And anyways, if you're a living man, woman, child, you're not playing in this counterfeit way. And send it to the court with the complaint and cover sheet, or you can go in person. So I did all this, and my court case was accepted, and court fee was waived, and this court case that I filed over here in California is against the state of California, or the people of the state of California, and then California State. And the lawyer for all these is Rob Bonta, the Attorney General, Rob Bonta. And then I also filed a lawsuit like this against T.J. Linville. He's the judge with a bar number, British accredited registry number, also a judge out of Siskiyou County, Wairika, California, Superior Court. And he gambled with the clerk and everybody else to try to bring charges, $50,000 cash bond on an entity that they don't own. And I already came to California in 2015 and made sure that there's no John Doe running around here in California. So to do that, you go to the Corporate Commission office, it's called, at the Secretary of State office over there. And Arizona has it, New Mexico has it, every state has this corporate commission, and each state's running this other company, the state of. And so that one is why this court case is happening right here. That state of California violated my right to be a non-citizen and non-social security number. So they violated federal law, and they violated United States treaty law. They violated Vienna Convention treaty laws in 1868. They violated international treaty law. So this is a big case, and this is like 20th time jeopardy. Like they call it double jeopardy. If you do something 2 times to somebody, double jeopardy. Well, for everybody that knows me, this is like 30 jeopardy right here. I've been through this a lot of times. I don't usually do this federal thing right here. I just count coup at the state level, and I get the case dismissed with prejudice, and I get the case dismissed for lack of jurisdiction, that I prove that I am Nene and I'm not no John Doe to be prosecuted by this de facto fake company. So you want to do this in forma paupery, and it's And just follow these steps. That's all I'm doing. Consent to proceed before a United States magistrate judge, which you will need to serve on the parties in your case. Upon the voluntary consent of all parties who must file a consent form with the court, a magistrate judge may conduct any and all proceedings in your civil case, including a jury or non-jury trial, and the entry of final judgment in accordance with the provisions. If you are not proceeding in form of paupery, your next step is to inform each of the defendants that he or she is being sued. This may be done in two ways. So I did it. I did the service of process. I hand delivered it. I also did it by fax and turn it in back to the court that you served them up. So I also made videos about it that I served them up, and they got some days to answer back. So the answer is a formal written statement by the defendant. So I'm waiting for that answer from Rob Bonta, TJ Linville, and these ghosts that can't talk. So that's the state of California. The people of the state of California is just a ghost company, and so is Republic, California State, and it's in violation right now. So that's why Rob Bonta has to come answer for all these. And then one of his agents, TJ Linville, acting like a judge, they got to answer what they did here. And so during that time, I also added in there a criminal complaint that's in violation of 18 U.S. subsection 4. That's also in there. It's a writ telling the court that I demanded to mandate order it to dismiss the case for lack of jurisdiction, that there's no trustee to prosecute. And then I put in that 18 USC, it's an 11-page federal criminal complaint along with this against TJ Linville. So after the answer, in most cases, the court will issue a scheduling order. That's what I've been waiting around for right here, is which sets forth a timetable with deadlines the litigants must follow. The discovery period is a time frame allowed by the court for both the plaintiff and the defendant to discover facts, research the law, and gather evidence to be presented at trial to prove the litigant's position. Case. The discovery period always comes after the filing of the answer by the defendant and before the first day of the trial. So there you go. It's that simple. Always send a copy to each of the parties who are involved in the case, their lawyers. So TJ Linville and also his lawyer Rob Bonte got it, and indicate on the proof of service form at the end of the document you have done so in accordance with Federal Rule Civil Procedure 5. Provide the correct civil action number of your case on all documents and have it readily available when you call the court for information. So sign in all documents you file with the court. Place the words pro se after your name. Place your address, telephone number, inform the court in writing of any changes as soon as possible. It's very important that you provide telephone number, that you might get hearing schedules changed or anything. So I doing this on my own. I took these things like this into Supreme Court, but never got no money out of it. So that's not what I'm after here. I'm just here to get the court cases into a database, so that later on my children can go look it up and they can see how their father has learned how to fill out these paperwork, and if they are my blood, then they have a good bloodline DNA to understand the slave's language. Right here. In the zero, no. This is called the cover sheet. What's it about? The nature of the suit. Well, it's about contract product liability. On planes, gonna haul some bad shit through Navajo Res, personal injury. Yes, all of the above. Other statutes. Constitutionality of state statutes right there, so you mark that one. Taxes, you mark that one. Right here. General. What kind of case? Other. And when you do this and you fill out the complaint form, it's gonna tell you what do you want to do in the case. Do you want to stop the case, or do you want to rule it? Or you're telling this judge what you're doing, so you got to know what you're requesting. What are you in my situation? I'm pushing, and the jurisdiction part, I already invoked it on here, that I'm invoking Article 3, Section 2. Article 3, Section 2 is a federal jurisdiction. That's what I am invoking on my paperwork. And I also invoke what is called Article 6, Section 2. And I say, pursuant to the two-row Wampum Treaty Belt. Why? Why do I say that? I don't say 1868 treaty. I say the two-row Wampum Treaty Belt that was made in 1612, that predates 1868, also predates these places right there. So these guys right here, they got that, what I just said, articles and Bill of Rights. They got it from that two-row Wampum Treaty Belt, the foundation of it, to go on to what is called the Constitution. So that Constitution has Bill of Rights and Articles of Confederation. Also some amendments. So if you're gonna make complaints on Facebook and other places about uranium mine or Oak Flat or Chaco, Pinyon Plain, you Sanis, jo matanos, sento mayajitanos, and you men are supposed to be the man of your home and able to protect your family, your mothers, your sisters, your daughters, and your sons, yes, and your in-laws and things that way, and your livestock, your animals, your tepe and your horses. I understand it that you are all spinning around with the free commodity phone, Obama phone we call it. That was one of the tricks, like alcohol, like the mirror. Same weapon to get you away from the fireplace and to get you away from caring about your life and your agreement to begin to Wakantanka, Tukashila, Onchimaka, to Sagawa Tiso, to Shunke Witiko, to Geronimo, to Manuelito, Narbona. They fought to the death with all of their life because they know they had to protect these rules, these bundles, the throne, the title, the alloidial title to you clanmothers, to you headmen. You have inherent right to the land and an inherent obligation and an inherent responsibility to protect her Shama Nahastan. Well, here is some of your work as a woman that has a child or comes from a woman. You are the fifth element, like the earth, like the water, the air, the sky. The fifth one, the woman. You have a responsibility like the other four elements, and they are out of balance. And the fifth element is nowhere around. In their moccasins, they all got social security number and Obama phones spinning around on Instagram, hoping that Deb Haaland is going to rescue them and put them on the Washington, D.C. Air Force jet plane and fly them through the CERN portal up to the sky, and everyone escapes their punishments and their judgments. But that is not going to happen anytime soon for any of you. So I suggest you start to study here how to file this. And it says, simple. Some of you women have big fucking mouths, but you can't do this. Some of you men talk a lot of shit too, but you can't do this. You can't take it to the box. I've been at this many years, trying to tell you guys to do it. Earn some feathers, take some scalps, count coup. You don't want just one judge to judge your case. You want it to the power of the people. So you want other clan mothers and headmen to be judging you if you are a headman, a clan mother. How can a mere mortal citizen, Social Security slave surveillance number, judge you? That's what I wanted to share with all of you. I do this right here in California, this exact package right here, and there is a court case. Nene versus Rob Bonta, Attorney General. For this place right here, California, and then one of the judges named Judge T.J. Linville from Siskiyou County, Wairika, California. So I sued two of them, and I stopped the court case in Wairika. I stayed the case through the federal court. So the federal court trumped a superior court. Did you hear me? This federal court in the Constitution violation trumped the state court. And then from that state court, superior court, I took it to a counter complaint at the Supreme Court of Appeals. The Supreme Court, I made the writ of mandate to cease and desist and dismiss the case for lack of jurisdiction pursuant to the Truro Wampum Treaty Belt. I carry that Truro Wampum Treaty Belt. I've used it in many court cases. I have not lost one. So I went there to file it, and in person this time, after filing it by fax, by mail, certified mail, and hand delivering it. And so they didn't want to comply. So also in this right here, now I had to, the reason I have this again is I had to file another of this whole thing against the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court of California, California Supreme Court, San Francisco, for fraud upon the courts. I have all proof of services, all registered certified mails. I have the email that proof of mail got, who signed for everything. And so that's why I have this package right here. And some more proof of service right here to make sure that Simone Volts and Max Alfaro, the supervisor clerks of the Supreme Court in San Francisco, that they received their lawsuits for $75,000 plus. So you can't file this right here, I guess, unless if it's over $75,000. In the state court, I have filed for a big amount before. It was 666 and 11 zeros. But I filed it for gold mint coin. And they tried to settle me out of court. That means let's go over there behind the doors and talk about it. You got to sign this paperwork, a disclaimer that you won't ever talk about it, how you won the court case, and you'll go away. So hush money. And I didn't take the settlement. I didn't do a settlement. And that's why I talked to you openly today. And I'm not like that. I'm not in this for money, but in this case, it says I have to file for a certain amount of money. So again, I'll just write my name, Nene, against Simone Volts, Max Alfaro, and their boss, and then Supreme Court of San Francisco. And then I'll turn it in with these cover sheets and asking to waive the $405, and then I'll fill out my name and I'll fill out the defendants, all of them right here, like that, who it is, what's their Duns and Bradstreet number, their bar number. And then I say, so you say for the basis for jurisdiction, if the basis for jurisdiction is a federal question, list the specific federal statutes, federal treaties right there, two-row Wampum Treaty, and or provisions of the United States Constitutions that are at issue in this case. I told you everything. International treaty law, Vienna Convention on Treaties, 1868, United States treaty law, and then on and on. You got 1868 treaty, you got whatever, and you say, and then in the United States Constitution, you write Article 6, Section 2, the Supremacy Clause. Treaties are the supreme law of the land. Then you write right here, Article 3. You can separate it a little bit right there and say, I invoke Article 3. I invoke Article 3, Section 2, jurisdiction. And then you write this diversity of citizenship. The plaintiff, individual, plaintiff is a corporation, so I am not a corporation, so I don't write that. I don't have a Duns and Bradstreet number, or I'm not a government agent. I'm not a FARA 1933. 1938. I mean, I am not like Deb Haaland or Abu Nigrin or any of them kind of people. So, or Trump. So I don't have no EIN or a DUNS number with my name. There's no shell companies with me. I don't work for anybody. I'm just me. Sheteya. I'm for myself, and I'm a Natani for Twitchini and my other 3 clans, and for my mother's clans, my father's clans. So that's who I am, and I write those things in my documentation, my clans. And so if more than one plaintiff is named, but there's only one, me and my clanmother, and I'm the headman. So the defendant is an individual or a corporation. So I fill out, yes, that he's an individual and he's a corporation. He's a bar number, and I put his bar number too. So I put that he's a bar number, and Rob Bonta too, same thing. That the defendant is a is a BAR, B-A-R, British Credit Registry, and his name Rob Bonta is Attorney General, and then the other one's T.J. Linville, and has his principal place of business. Yeah, he works for the Department of Justice and Secretary of State, and this one is a judge, Judge Linville. So you just fill out all this stuff and try to find out their Duns and Bradstreet number and things like that. And then if there's more than one defendant, you write that there, and then you're like, how much are you feel like you got damaged? You're the corpus delicti. So you write, I, corpus delicti, incur this amount damages. How much is your life worth? 666 11 zeros is one time I put that. Gold mint I put. And write a short and plain statement of the claim. Do not make legal arguments. Keep short and sweet. Number each complaint. Attach additional pages. Hashot, what happened? Why? Who are you suing? Well, Boo Nygren has got a Bible under his palm and he takes an oath to it. So does Donald Trump. Donald Trump put his hand on a Bible. Katie Hobbs put her hand on a Bible. Bible de facto oath equals treason, punishable by hanging, by morning light, so the whole town village, all the children can see the dead man hanging from the nearest light pole, the nearest tree, that this is what happens to bad man. That's why you got a bad man clause on your treaties, even on 1868. Now get to it, fucking crybaby Sonnies complaining on Facebook. You're making us sick. I tell people the number one killer of spirit is you women. The number two killer of us men is alcohol. One we can overcome. One you kill. So we have to learn Na Yetne Zgane songs, Monster Slayer songs. And it is you women that cry. Remember, you brought the life into this world. It is you who are responsible for that child. You and your clan. The man, he still has some responsibility to his clan. Again, I was not in for damages. I seek a peaceful coexistence, like as in the case in Saratoga Springs, New York, Court of Claims, claim number 128989. 27 charges of genocide that I put against the state of New York State, Andrew Cuomo. And at that time, I served Andrew Cuomo, Eric T. Schneiderman. I also served Donald J. Trump and his wench, Loretta Lynch. You were served in 2016. Where the Supreme Court, New York, mandated the District Court of Malone, Franklin County, to dismiss all 13 charges against Nene for lack of jurisdiction with prejudice. Do we still have a peaceful coexistence pursuant to the two-row wampum treaty belt made for as long as the sun shines, the grass grows, and the river flows, for a time immemorial? Because if we do not, and you make it to where I don't have an agreement with Usen, with Yaosen, with Deyin, with Shitra, with Sagawa Diesel, with Wankan Tanka, with Unchimaka. If I don't have an agreement with Shamana Hassan, the air I breathe, the water I drink, and if I do not have honor and stay under the authority of my clan mothers, then how can you have a peaceful coexistence with me, a living man under his clan mother's authority? Certification, sign, date, and you can do all this at the notary, and you can get this whole thing authenticated and make it very official. There. That's how you throw the book at them. First, freedom of information of Boo Nygren's Bible oath. It's called a de facto oath. He did not stand with the flag. He did not hold the Constitution. He did not even have an 1868 treaty in his hand. He did not have one thing of authority of the Neh. Wearing some funny looking potato chip hat. They are FARA 1938 agents, Foreign Agents Registration Act 1938. They all have to have a foreign agent registration registered that they are working for the Crown, that they are not working for Clanmothers, headmen, the Navajo people. They work for the Crown. They are a DUNS number. The DUNS number that you will put on this complaint right here against Boo Nygren and his company. CEO Boo Van Nygren. What corporation is the defendant work for? What's his place of business? Window Rock, Navajo Nation, Duns and Bradstreet, 0090017002. You have to start taking out these people that put their oath on the Bible. And then once you got the proof of the Bible oath, you can turn it over to the military. Remember who forced you to the treaties and who they are made with. The military. Make the military do their job. And their rule for treason is hanging by the next morning light. over here in West Coast, trying to help out some of these West Coast tribes out here by the same way I am right now. This little bioweapon getting into your entity algorithms. Remember, I'm the living. I don't really have this phone. Aho, mitakuyasin, hagonet. Good night. Gloria Hara. Aho, Leo. Yatahe, yatahe. Where's all your condor relatives, Leo? Leo the lion. You still free out there? Modesto. Can send email. NIINEE1868 @gmail. Join our group and share your skills. Yeah, you guys get a contact with me, Gloria, Hara, and Leo. NIINEE1868 @gmail. Nene at 1868 @gmail.com. Hokahe.